Thanks for tuning in to the Marvel Movie Minute.
Want to skip those pesky ads and get early access?
Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a weekly podcast in which we assemble to explore the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe 5 minutes at a time. In this, our 9th season, we're looking at Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I'm Pete Wright.
I'm Kyle Olson.
And today we're talking about minutes 111 through 115, which begins with a little punching, a little social media, a little name tag immolation, and ends with some strong helicarrier on helicarrier violence. Kyle, this is, we've been waiting.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. We get it. It just is here. It's finally here. I didn't think this day would ever come.
I know. It's here we are, Cap v. Bucky for everything. This is it. This is what we do. The mano a mano, like the two of them going toe to toe. And, only Cap is still probably holding back some, but the Winter Soldier is in full control and like going after like kill shots. Like he is absolutely there to do it. So my thought as I was watching Cap sort of still, he has the mission. Like Cap's mission is get to put it in the blade, like make sure that that's his mission. He's not there to kill Bucky, stop Bucky, or anything about Bucky. He wants the same, but like that's secondary. So Cap is a soldier. He is on mission. He's on point. What do you think the Winter Soldier's orders were?
If his orders were to stop Cap from achieving his goal, he should have made a harder fist.
Yeah.
He's holding this chip, this blade in his hand that Cap had dropped, and he never crushes it. And we know he could have crushed it.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen him just even in the last couple of minutes. We saw him like tear open, rip wings off of the Falcon, which I'm sure they had to be whatever the titanium version,
stronger than a silicon board.
Yes.
So what was his objective? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no theory.
I don't either. I mean, like, because we saw him take out a bunch of soldiers, so it's that to make sure that the carriers get to enough height to get their angles or whatever it is by any means necessary, and then he obviously takes out Falcon. Like this is something that is in our way of making sure that Project Insight goes off, and then when it comes to Cap, then I don't think he knows what that thing is. The blade, the server blade that has to be put in, but
he knows what it is enough to know to hold on to it.
Yeah, exactly. He knows that Steve thinks this is important, so therefore, like, you think it would be the case. But then, of course, as in all of these things, it gets knocked away and like over the side, and like, oh no, what are we going to do now? But that's through the whole thing. I was sort of going, is it just a holding action? Is it literally just all he has to do is we know if he just maintains this fight for another literally like 2 minutes, then Project Insight goes off and millions of people die.
Yeah.
But does he know that? I don't know.
No, Bucky, we have no indication that Bucky has a bug in his ear being told from somebody in a chair.
Yeah. It's like, it's that, launch into space thing. They just like launched him, and then it's up to him how he interprets things as he's out in the world. Because Pierce, I don't know if Pierce knows that he's in play.
Probably not.
I mean, because they're sort of that, like, the plan, but then things are not going how Pierce thought they were in the conference room with all the people. I mean, he makes a big play in this one, which we'll talk about, but I don't know that he knows all the other things that are happening.
Right, because we do have, so just in terms of setting the stage of the 5 minutes, we've got four simultaneous sort of clocks that are ticking.
Yes.
One is obviously the Charlie helicarrier, the dome underside. We have Pierce's office / council room as our second clock. Our third clock is the Triskelion floor 41, where we have a meeting between the Falcon and Rumlow, and the fourth is Charlie Bridge, which is where our Hydra bridge techs are talking to one another and trying to launch this thing. I guess there's actually a fifth clock because we do cut away to Maria Hill, who is elsewhere. But
she's not conceivable. She's not in danger. She's just at this point. And we've already seen she can handle herself. So in our minds we're sort of like, oh, okay, we don't need to worry about her unless I don't know, maybe. Is it possible that like a flying helicarrier could crash into the district? That's
it's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
They went up out of the river. They'll probably go straight down.
As we know, flying things
very gentle.
They immediately, just like leaves or feathers,
slowly a leaf in the wind. Watch me fly. Sticking with the belly. I find this fight really exhilarating, first of all, because it's designed well, as all of the fights are. But I think I want to get to your point, which is Cap is probably holding back a little bit. Then the end of this fight, so we'll jump around a little bit. The end of the fight, Cap has what is the wrestling move that he has Bucky in?
I mean, I think it's just a chokehold.
I don't see. I wouldn't have even been able to get you there.
I'm sure there's some MMA fans who are like know exactly what that is, but basically just like a standard takedown, like basically, and it works. I mean, like they fight up on the thing, the blade goes over, they fall to the midpoint, whatever that weird Dyson air blade thing that's sticking
definitely a Dyson air blade. Right? I got that same vibe. The whole column is a Dyson product. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then down to the bottom, and then it's really smart because I was sort of looking at it going, oh, you have him, you're holding him with that one arm. I was like, oh, he can still hit you. And I was like, oh wait, Cap is restraining like the cyborg arm, which like if you got punched in the face with that, like it's lights out. So like it's really smart the way he does it, even though it leaves Bucky's other hand free and he usually gets to stab and kick and stab and punch and gets a gun, everything he can. But unfortunately, the Winter Soldier still needs to breathe. And so when Cap like holds his airway, then it's lights out for Bucky, and that's when they would ring the bell.
Well, and this hold is the place where it seems to me that Cap is no longer really holding as much back. Do you get the sense that he's dislocating appendages?
Yes. Yeah. I think he absolutely dislocated his shoulder because like he says, don't make me do it. And it's like as Winter Soldier, still Winter Soldier, like there's still no sign of Bucky at this point.
Yeah.
He absolutely put some severe pain on him. But at this point, if this was a Nazi in World War II, Cap would have absolutely killed him.
You're absolutely right.
So I think he goes farther than he wants to, but he still just knocks him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he doesn't bust his windpipe. Like he doesn't actually like make it so like, oh yeah, he'll wheeze himself to death while I'm out, taking care of some computer maintenance.
Well, and you're right, because after this bit, he leaves Bucky passed out at the bottom of the set, that the dome set they called the salad bowl.
That makes
salad
sense.
Bowl.
Yeah.
And it practically everything outside the immediate footprint of that fight is digital expansion. Beautifully done. Honestly, I mean, apart from being a ridiculous component of a helicarrier, it is gorgeously rendered. It looks great. Nothing ever really took me out of it.
Even that shot where they fall down onto the blade and they're doing it, like I was sort of looking for the matte lines a little bit, trying to figure out. Like I know that what they're standing on is practical, what's behind them is practical, but I know they did not build a giant plexiglass wall and fill it full of little or big metal discs and stuff too. I know all of that was there, but it's still, even after more than 10 years, still looks
wonderful.
Great. And brightly colored. Remember when they used to have color in Marvel movies?
I don't. This was it. I was like, this was the end. So beyond the beauty of the production, of course, he gets up and he starts scaling the Dyson spike.
Cap is back on mission. He's like, all
he's
right,
back on mission. But Bucky wakes up and just starts shooting a guy.
Yeah.
Like shoots him in the stomach.
Yeah. Yeah. Like his arm is still dislocated. So he uses the cyborg arm and just like take a shot and hitting pretty much every shot.
Yeah. Gruesome. Yeah. It's great.
And I mean, but Cap is continuing on. Like Cap takes shot after shot after shot. And then finally when he gets there and he almost gets the blade in, the clock is ticking, where all this stuff. He gets another shot and he collapses on the ground without having put the blade in, and we see that Bucky has shot him like essentially like through his stomach. I don't know. I was trying to figure out the angle of that thing, probably sideways, like through his side, and then out his chest, because you see like under the star.
I think it was a bank shot. I think he banked it off a piece of Dyson spike. Yeah,
little bullseye action.
Right.
Or maybe
doing a little bullseye, little dead shot.
And you can see that, like, if it's not hit his spine, then at least it's enough to like, okay, now this is like Cap's like, I think it's the third time he's shot. Like he's like got 3 bullets in him at this point.
Yeah, and stabbed in the shoulder.
And stabbed, yeah.
And
that was enough to like actually knock him to the ground. Sort of like, and you start to go, did he just like shoot him in the spine? Yeah. Like, is he really like he can't stand anymore?
What does the from the comics? What does the super soldier serum give Cap for healing?
More, but not like Wolverine level. Like it's kind of like a slow regeneration over time. I think they're actually in one of the Marvel role playing games. They actually like ranked it, and so like I think it was he has sort of. Essentially, Spider-Man has this same kind of. It's one of those like lesser abilities that, given enough time, he can come back from all these things. But like Wolverine is like 5 minutes, he's coming back. Like be ready.
Yeah.
But like Cap, it's like hours or days.
You're not witnessing wounds heal and bullets coming out of his head.
Exactly.
And that kind of
thing.
thing.
Yeah. It's not like he's not going to do like the spitting the bullet out thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is a very satisfying fight. It is less satisfying for me than like the bridge fight. If we're ranking the big fights in this movie, it's actually less satisfying than the other sort of giant, meetups, fisticuffs in this movie.
So?
Just like because it's
like, what is your criteria that makes it lesser for you?
Well, specifically speaking of the ground, the highway, brawl. This one weirdly feels the least, and I'm going to say the word, and I know that it's hyper literal, but it's the least grounded of the thing. It's literally off the ground, but it's also the most like we're in a lair of some sort, right? And the others are like, this is what these incredibly powerful, soldiers do when they're just hanging out on the street and they're destroying your car. Right. That gives me a lot more sort of anxiety as an audience member of look how real this is. This helicarrier is not and has never been real. It's never been a thing.
Yeah.
Apart from an item of fantasy.
It's interesting because I think of like the scene in Avengers where Cap and Tony have to restart the engine of the helicarrier, and it's just as unreal. Like but yet it felt more real because even though you're watching a CG guy in suit and started CG and like all, but the way that they shot it made it feel much more visceral. And then when he gets caught in the engine and like banged around, you still felt the more reality of it, even though it was far more CG than this.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better to like have it be on the deck, like it, or in like a traditional like ship control room?
Maybe for me, right? Like I'm just this is my taste. But you bring up the Tony Cap thing. If we're comparing Tony Cap, the best Tony Cap fight is the Tony Cap fight in the Russian bunker.
for me, it was helicarrier to helicarrier because
I totally get it. But
this is on the helicarrier.
This is the comparison for me. It's like put them on the ground in a space that I can visualize, that I can relate to. It is going to be more impactful than it being in a helicarrier. And the helicarrier, okay, let's helicarrier to your helicarrier. The Natasha Hulk experience in the helicarrier, not in a place that's completely fantastical. I've been in a submarine, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've taken the tour of the of the submarines. Like, that's what it feels like to me. I can relate to that. I can't relate to this room. This is all comic.
Yes.
And that is in a movie that is, we have been celebrating for weeks how wonderfully grounded it is. Suddenly we're in like these. I'm looking at a still of the Dyson stuff, and it looks like it's right out of an Ed Wood film. Right? Like with just color. It's like a lot of round things and columns, and there might as well be a Tesla coil in here. Bzz, 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 bzz. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that not to disparage it. I love it. Yeah. And it feels the most remote.
Yeah. But it does unfortunately fit a standard Marvel pattern of they get to the third act and then
we're going all in.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to, no matter, consequences be damned. Like we gotta go as big as possible, and then you lose out on stuff. I mean, this is a minor sin comparatively, but it is very clearly like, oh, this starts a pattern that is still continuing on to this day that is not good. I mean, like, you can draw a line directly from this to, I'd say, maybe one of the worst of the finales, which is Black Widow. And like, it's a direct line where the Black Widow one is completely removed from reality in a movie that had been much more grounded even than this.
Yeah,
I would say.
And suddenly we're falling from comic blimp.
Yes, and moving from platform to platform. And it was a complete disconnect by that point. And unfortunately, it's starting here.
And yet, like, you give me a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy, still to come. Yes. Guardians of the Galaxy starts bonkers. It's already bonkers. I'm okay. And in many respects, the same things can be said of Doctor Strange, right? Yeah. But I think part of when you look at the sins of the movies that you're bringing up, this one and Black Widow, when you start with a grounded promise, and we're so satisfied for 2/3 of the movie, you have to be aware that there is risk to take it in this direction, because that's not the promise you made when we started. And I'm still on board on this movie, but man, you're poking the dragon by bringing up Black Widow.
Well, okay. Well, then I will say then if this is in the contenders for top Marvel films, like, in terms of overall quality and belovedness and stuff too, and not even ranking where, but in the top 5, Black Panther is also in that category and does the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That
train thing at the end.
That train thing at the end. It's just like every single time I love that movie. Like I love like 99% of that movie, and then they get to that thing, and every time I go, oh, God,
what are we doing right now with this parade of pixels?
Yes.
What are we doing? You had it right there. You had the whole movie in your hands.
Yeah.
And decided to do the parade of light rather than just
letting the actors do their thing,
giving the actors a chance to
do their thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, had it, having just watched that again recently, having it be a reprise of the waterfall fight would have been better. Like you do this. I mean, this is
it would have been a callback. It would have been
glorious. So we're a callback. That's what I'm saying. Like you do all the Sonic stuff, and they lose their suits, and then it's back to mano a mano. But now, and ends the exact same way, and everything from there on exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so back to this one. But so I see your point. I mean, like I do love the super science. I do love the ridiculousness, but it is so grounded and even will be again later on, like in this exact same movie, that we get up to this height, and it sort of does, at this altitude, the emotional stakes get a little bit wonky.
Yeah. Let us go and
to
see
the
what
control
Pierce
room.
Pierce and Natasha are doing.
That's good.
Shall we?
Because Pierce had a plan. So this was good because he hoped to get the council on his side, but if not, then he had a little plan in place. If they decided to vote against him, then their badges would burn through their chest and kill them.
So here's the thing. Do you think someone like Natasha, I sort of feel like Marvel's accounting on these badges is, I'm not sure it lives up to, or that what's on screen lives up to the threat that they promised with these badges, right? By Marvel's own accounting on these badges, they burn so fast and they wreck organs and they fry them with their name tags, right? We get that. And we see a couple of the council members burn.
Yeah.
And I never get past the fact that I think Natasha could have taken off the jacket fast enough to not be burned.
Yeah.
I just am not sure that these things were aggressive enough in the effect to actually make me feel like she was threatened.
Yeah.
Am I overthinking it?
No, I don't think so, because this is the PG-13 nature of it. The devices themselves, from what he describes, what Pierce talks about, what will happen is, I guess it's almost like a piece of molten steel that will essentially burn through your entire body and then destroy whatever it comes in contact with, which is, there's a lot of important stuff in that area, like heart and lungs, and so it will go fast. So we only see it sort of spark, and then people drop out of frame.
Yeah,
and that's it.
So there's something happening.
Burn through your sternum faster than
Yeah,
but because of the PG-13 nature of it, we're not really allowed to see it. Everybody just goes, ah, and they fall out of frame.
Yeah.
Back to the Ed Wood thing of oh, dead. And you don't get to see that stuff because it's still a comic movie, and you still got to keep it moving, and the kids.
And I don't want to. I don't want to overtly sort of armchair the movie that's as old as this one is, and a movie I already love. But it almost feels like maybe just it's got a poison dart in it that injects into you, but something that's fast. This doesn't feel on screen fast enough to carry through the threat.
Yeah,
because we don't get to see
2 or 3 seconds,
and she has now seen 3 people. Die, and we've been set up to believe she is the best of the best, and it just feels to me like she would have been able to rip off the jacket, and now I'm one of those guys. I don't like being
it could have been
it's fine.
Say by a simple as soon as she sees the first one, that she goes and sees it, looks at hers, and then goes to move, and then Pierce up, not so fast,
right?
There's it. Natasha has the whole thing is always, I feel like, been written as a little bit behind the time. Whereas I feel like she should be the one who goes I already knew that way, but we're going to see her come out of this. Not unfortunately these minutes, but down the line. But the threat does work because it gets both Natasha and Nick to stand down.
Mm-hmm.
They're oh, all right, so it's not a Mexican standoff anymore. You got us.
Yes. Yeah.
Even though the information has been released, that was out there, but they're not able to stop anything on their side from the computery stuff going on.
And it's trending, she says. Done, and it's trending. We're referring, of course, to the information dump from last week. She has dumped all of Hydra's and S.H.I.E.L.D.'s secrets onto the internet, and man, it's trending fast.
Yeah.
I don't know where she did it. I don't know where she dumped it.
We don't know much about what the social media scene is like in the MCU.
We sure don't.
And I'm glad for it.
Probably the closest we get of it is Spider-Man, right?
Yeah. Where we see, almost in real time, we get to see his life unravel as J. Jonah Jameson makes this big announcement.
Right. So Pierce gets his a break, and mostly he's still talking to the Charlie Bridge lieutenant. What's our timeline? And then on the bridge we have a what reminds me of an Imperial cruiser bridge. If these guys were wearing the pointy hats, I'd think they were right out of Star Wars.
They're definitely the baddies.
They are so bad.
And so, yeah, we see I guess it's just listed as like, I think it's Charlie Commander. So like, this is the Charlie. So this actor is John Sklar from New York City, born in NYC, baby. He actually, it's a pretty incredible thing. He has 73 credits on IMDb. I'm gonna list off just a handful of the ones I pull off because he is a perennial worker and seems to be beloved by casting agents because he's in New York. So what show has he definitely been on?
Oh, yeah, Law and Order.
Law and Order, yes, multiple Law and Order. He was in Three Kings, CSI, NCIS, Bones, Monk, ER, 24, The Mentalist, Chuck, Gotham, Lucifer, The Rookie. Like, he has run the gambit.
Yeah,
like,
Murder's Row.
I mean, like, man, I hope that those residual checks are sweet because he's got a bunch of them coming in. But one thing I thought was interesting is that he made his debut in a television show in 1996. This is not a test because there's no way you're going to know this. But he made his television debut in 1996 from a Dick Wolf show. It only lasted 13 episodes, but those 13 episodes had featured appearances by Kirk Acevedo, Drea DiMatteo, Kate Walsh, Lance Reddick, J.K. Simmons, Peter Stormare, Jennifer Garner, and Giancarlo Esposito.
What?
Yes, I did not even know the show existed. It is called Swift Justice.
I've never
sounds like
heard
a parody,
of it.
but I didn't either. Because you know why we didn't hear of it? It was on the UPN. Dick Wolf created a show on the UPN. It's about a New York City ex-cop named Max Swift who takes on investigations the police can't handle.
Of all of those actors, I don't know who would play Max Swift. Who was it?
Max Swift was played by James McCaffrey, who unfortunately is no longer with us. He has another incredible resume, but most famous to gamers, he was Max Payne, and he was also in Control, which I know is one of our favorite
totally
sort of sci-fi horror-ish games. His unfortunately is no longer with us, but like his legacy looms large. But yeah, it was the promo for the show was fantastic because it's like, in a world, like I was like, right, I'm already
they did all of it.
Where crime is and it gets to the end. And you see him, Max Swift, Star Swift Justice, steps out and he says, "Sometimes when there's no justice, there's just this." And he pulls out two guns and starts firing them. And I was like, 1996. I was like, wow.
So much was just okay back then. I mean, just like so much stuff was just like fair and awesome.
Yeah, but like I hope whoever was doing the casting on that show, like, got an Emmy for it, or whatever, too, because like, man, like for just 13 episodes, the amazing array of talent that they got in there.
God, that's a lot.
Yeah, and so for here now he's the Hydra, like clearly the Hydra person who's trying to get his ship. He's following his orders to trying to get his ship high enough that he could murder millions of people.
Yes, and he is talking to a Hydra bridge tech who is just talking about minutes and feet and everything's fine.
Yep, this is our ticking clock. Rather than having like a literal countdown, they're just going by, like cutting back and forth of time. It's getting close, it's getting close, it's getting close.
I do love, because one of the things that we see as it's getting close, is we get the exterior shots where all of the
rail guns
are coming down, right? And rail guns. So, but they're all modeled after Cap era, like Nazi,
like
Axis
exactly,
guns,
like battleship weapons. Like they look
Yeah.
like they're just regular sort of howitzer type cannons.
Yeah. And I think it ends up looking really good, and I think it feels more appropriate in this reveal than it did in the tour of the base, because then it just felt like, this is what laser guns look like,
right?
And
it literally could have been a Captain Proton era, like death
totally.
Like it could have been like just like glowing rods that will incinerate people, but instead they're just like, oh no, they're just gonna fire big bullets.
Stuff that we it's not stuff that we recovered from New York. This is
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I really like it. It still looks in the air for some reason. Like it looks really practical. It looks solid. And the ticking clock is really good for me. It works well. I like everybody's bracing for those last 3
targeting,
seconds.
like it goes through the whole targeting thing, and there's a lot of stuff there. People have gone through and list all names. We're not going to list all the names there, but if you want to find out all the names that are on screen, they are readily available through just clickety-clack those keys, and you can find them. The notable ones that I found on that list are pretty much what you expect. We have Matthew Ellis, who is currently the president. If you watched Iron Man 3, he was the president then. He remains the president. Bruce Banner is on the list. Maria Hill, which I think is interesting because that gun has to do so little work.
Yeah, it's like literally right there. It's just straight down.
An inch to the left. Steve Rogers, who obviously that will be a much harder shot because he's above where the guns are. Tony Stark and Stephen Strange. All the rest of them seem to be just either randomly generated or they're friends and family, or that we didn't see anything else that was sort of Easter eggy in terms of the names.
Then we actually get the resolve that Cap, even while shot through the spine to the stomach,
presumably,
he is able to lock Charlie. And then this is it. This is when the helicarriers go to town on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you find out that what Maria was doing was changing the targeting systems so that each insight carrier would target the other carriers. And so then you see the guns go from pointing down at the people, swing up to point the other ones, and you actually get to see inside the Charlie control booth and look out and go, wait, those guns are pointing at us.
Yeah.
And then hellfire.
And it's staged really beautifully, right? The having one of them higher than the other, and I mean, it looks really good in the sky. I think they managed to pull off what could have ended up being a really clumsy. This is a battle at sea. This is like pirate ships going at each other, but they're doing it over the Potomac.
Yeah, and of course, then Cap, is the one who called down the fire on himself. Like he is not clear. And Maria knows this, but he's like, fire anyway. Like he says, like, even though he's there at ground zero, like, this is his job. Like, he did the work, and now it's got to be done. He's willing to sacrifice himself. He's going to make the sacrifice play here.
Yeah,
it's by in this moment that what it feels like. At least.
Yeah,
it's there's no reason for him to think that he's going to be able to crawl away in time.
Right. And we don't have any expectation. And in fact, if we presume what's going to happen, he's going to fall out of the dome and into the Potomac, he's going to be crushed by helicarrier, right? That's kind of where we are. And,
as we've established, helicarriers fall like rocks. They just drop straight down.
They drop straight down. Everybody knows it. And that marks sort of the end, though.
Yeah.
The very last, 2 seconds of this minute, do you hear a scream?
What
if you need to go back and listen to it, what's on screen, Cap is, we're behind Cap's head. He's kind of grasping on the railing, and the dome is falling down out of the helicarrier. And there is a scream that it is not, let me just say for the record, it is not the Wilhelm scream. I know what the Wilhelm scream sounds like. It's not that, I promise. But there is an effect in there that feels very stock and screamy, and I can't tell if they're trying to suggest that this is what Bucky sounds like when he screams.
Oh.
It does not sound like Bucky. My hunch that I finally came to is, when they're building these sequences, they're building sequences out of entire massive beds of sound to make shrieking, ripping sounds of metal. And I think this is a sequence that just ended up being this instanced kind of scream element to make it sound like destruction. But man, it sticks out to me like a big, big sore thumb. I can't unhear it. It sounds like that's what they want Bucky to sound like when he falls.
Interesting. It takes me back to, unfortunately, Star Wars. In in Empire Strikes Back, when they did the special editions, I remember going into the theater and seeing that when they re-released them with all new effects and all that stuff. When Luke does his, like, after the, I am your father, and then it's impossible, and then he throws himself off. In the original version, he just falls. Basically like, I'd rather die than turn to the dark side. That's the big moment. In the special edition, he goes, ah!
Yeah.
And I was like, so you're saying that Luke was like considering this and then slipped
and then it was like his mind.
Yeah. Or like, it was like, well, actually, what? And it was like, well, I guess I got to roll with this now. So screaming sounds, very important. Yeah. As we are both sound nerds, there is one particular like door squeak that I use and thousands of things. And every time I hear it, it drives me crazy. Cause I'm like, I know you just went in creaky door sound and put in like every door that opens up that has this exact same sound. I'm like, come on.
Yep. Loafers on wood again. Yeah.
So I get you.
Well, go listen to it because then you'll never unhear it, and then we'll be cursed together, and it's going to be great. And this marks the beginning of the third act resolution. The boys are going to fall. Right. Because gravity does what gravity do.
Yeah.
And
the only other note I had in my thing is I love the fact that when we cut to space, which I always think it's funny when you're in the middle of the scene, like cut to space, and the satellites, I mean, just to let us know, like, oh, how are they getting this information? Oh, cut to space. There's a shot. And they are Insight branded satellites. They built a satellite, and then literally somebody like had a stencil and was like, like they put Insight on the side of the satellite. I love that. I'm watching the last couple seconds.
Oh, you're checking for screams.
Oh yeah! Wow! Yeah, you're right. There absolutely is the sound of a giant piece of metal falling onto a 100-year-old Russian resurrected super soldier.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah,
I'm not totally crazy.
Yeah. It's like,
I don't think that's what he sounds like.
Maybe the only time we ever hear Bucky scream in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe journey. I mean, the last time we heard him scream was falling off of a train.
Yeah, maybe I should go comp that. I wanted to run this through my stem splitter, but I don't think I'm not sure it'll take it from the score as a vocal.
I don't know. I would say we could play the Wilhelm scream, but I think it might be copyrighted.
Oh,
I don't know for sure.
You wonder if you're listening to this show, do you think anybody listening to this doesn't know what the Wilhelm scream sounds like, Kyle?
I don't know.
I think we know our audience. Yeah. All right. This was great. We're going to watch Gravity do stuff next week. And,
that's right.
Very excited about that. And
Cat's got a big choice to make. And
there's choices
consequences
to be made.
Of all these actions.
I'm sure there's consequences. Yeah.
And somebody goes for a little swim. So.
Yeah. And somebody gets drugged out. We don't know how it's going to end. What are we talking about?
We don't know how it's going to end.
We're all just posturing. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us on this show. Go find Kyle on the Craft and Chaos podcast, craftandchaos.fun. You can listen to that. Been on hiatus for a while, so now is a great time to binge.
That's right. You can catch up.
I'll be there too, and you can find all the other films, and actually of this show, all the other seasons. Are you going back and watching some old Marvel movies? You can catch me and Kyle and all of the Marvel Movie Minute crew in our seasons for all of the Marvel movies that have come before. They're all in the feed, hundreds of episodes. Pulling apart the movies of the Marvel Cinematic.
Yeah, if you don't have time to watch the movie, you can listen to the current commute back and forth over 100 hours.
Years of your life you could lose to the history of this show. We appreciate you doing that. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week.
That's right. More winter, more soldier. Enough said.